It's the digital age. People's attention spans, short. It's getting shorter every day. It's as short as a goldfish. You've heard that, right? Well, how does that affect you as a speaker when you're trying to get people's attention? It's very simple. Be interesting. That's right. Say something interesting. Now, attention spans have been getting shorter for quite some time. I remember way back in the 1988 US presidential campaign, big news that sound bites on television news of presidential candidates had shrunk to 9.8 seconds. That's right, less than 10 seconds. And that was seen as almost the end of society. And now we live in an age where people often only watch something 2-3 seconds, 5 seconds sometimes. How do you as a speaker deal with that? Well, you've got to realize that it's on you. If your audience turns away, whether it's an in-person audience, a virtual audience, it's not their problem, it's your problem. So it is in fact on you as a communicator to figure out, how do you capture the attention of your audience and how do you keep the attention? The problem so many speakers have in the business world, in the civic world, in adult life, is that their model for speaking is some high school teacher from a long time ago who starts off with, "Good morning, class. Today we're going to talk about the following subject, and you should have done your..." Boring. The teacher can get away with that because the teacher can force you to put away your cell phone or can just take it away from you. You don't have that ability in the modern world, especially if you're talking to someone online, because they can be at home, have other screens open, have laptops open, have 3 cell phones in front of them, and you can't take it away. All you can do is one thing: be interesting. If you want to be more successful, then improve your communication skills. The best way to do that? Smash the subscribe button right now. If you are interesting, people will give you their attention. Some of the most successful movies of all time, even ones put out in the last few years, have been very long. People still like to watch Titanic. It's 3 hours long. James Cameron has been very successful making extremely long movies. Why does he capture people's attention? Because he's interesting. So don't worry about being concise and saying everything you want to say in 10 or 15 seconds. Instead, focus on being interesting every time you open your mouth. Be interesting in the first 10 seconds. People are more impatient if they hear you talking about yourself. One of the worst things you can do as a speaker in real life, in the digital world, is to just start talking about yourself in a way that doesn't seem relevant to your audience. If all you're doing is talking about your business and your product and why you're great and your accomplishments and your background, everyone else is thinking, why should I care about this guy? Click, delete, or go to plan B, which is, I'm going to look at my cell phone if you're speaking to me live in the same room. So you got to get to a point faster. You got to explain something that's interesting to the audience, relevant to them, engaging for them, and memorable for them. If you're constantly delivering value to people, they will listen. I was listening to a speaker the other day, and no slides, no video clips, no props. He was on a stage talking. And after an hour and a half, he said, "Good night, I got to go." People wanted more. People were applauding, asking for an encore. Now, he was a famous comedian, Jerry Seinfeld. But you don't have to be funny. Just be interesting. The motivational speaker, Anthony Robbins, sometimes starts his seminars at 10 in the morning. He's still talking at midnight. And guess what? People want more. Why? It's because he is consistently interesting. It's because he's animated. And I'm not trying to turn you into a junior level Anthony Robbins. We don't need more people saying, "And say aye if you agree with me." We don't need more Anthony Robbins impersonators, okay? You need your own style. But there are basic structures, structural patterns, how someone like Anthony Robbins speaks that is relevant to you and to me. Part of it is there's constant variety. There's movement with body, face, hands. There's variation with voice. There's never pure data dumping. There's constant illustration with stories, examples. There's an opportunity for people to move, stand up occasionally rather than sitting for more than an hour if you're talking a long time. So you can capture attention in the modern digital age, and you can keep attention, and you can deliver your audience's attention to one of your ideas and another if you are consistently interesting. But you've got to look at everything through the lens of your audience. You've got to ask yourself, if I'm an audience member, is what's being said right now interesting to me, relevant to me, useful to me, and memorable? If you can't say yes to all of those, leave it out. Don't say it. Leave it on the cutting room floor. Or you can have it as a handout, give it to people afterwards, email it to people if they want it. But don't say it if you're hoping to keep the attention of your audience. There's always going to be some new study saying attention spans are going down. It's been going on for a long, long time. There's always going to be someone saying people are rude these days and they don't pay attention. That's always going to happen. Don't use that as an excuse. You can capture the attention of an audience. You can captivate them if you focus on interesting ideas one at a time and you illustrate these ideas with great examples and great stories.